Molt bon dia a tothom i gràcies.
Good morning, and thank you very much for having invited us to participate in such a very interesting meeting around a better possible future for humanity. I'm Francesc Giró from the Waste Agency in Catalonia, and I'm going to share with all of you the experience of the SIRCLES project. But before I do that, I would like to give you some background, and I will try and be practical. I will like to share some images. We'll start with this potato. Potato is, together with rice, basic food, basic staples, and with these potatoes we can do wonderful things like chips, bravas, or this combination of green beans and potato and boiled potatoes. But we have to grow them, or we have to buy them, we have to peel them, and we will have generated scraps, right? And we can think about the war and post-war, and then people would eat this, or some modern chefs would tell you that they can do wonderful food with the peels. But for all of us here, we would consider them as scraps, as waste, and we would throw them away. They are organic waste, and at the same level as banana peels and the egg shells, or the walnuts shell, or the bones of the fish, or the bones from the meat, chicken, or also this, although a lot of people have coffee through capsules and don't know what I'm talking about. And these flowers that do not look beautiful anymore. So these are organic waste, and we generate this organic waste. And we generate it in hotels, in restaurants, in our households, and they are municipal waste. They are considered municipal waste. And what do we do with this? And what's the municipal waste generation at global level? There are some countries as Canada and United States or Australia that 1 to 1.5 kilos per day per person, but other countries as Africa and Asia, not even 0.5 kilos per waste and per person and per day. World Bank data. So this graph shows us that the rich countries with a higher GDP, generate more waste. Here you can see United States are generating approximately 700 kilos per year and per habitant, or Cuba, green, 250. And what's the composition of this municipal waste? What's inside the waste? So an important part, it would be organic waste. And if we take a look at the different countries all over the world, depending on their GDP or wealth, so the richest countries generate less amount of organic waste. So they make more waste, but less organic waste. And on the other hand, the countries that are poorer have a higher proportion of organic waste. Here you can see a list. So there are countries up to 60-70% of all the waste generated are organic waste, but others don't get up to 10 or 15. Greece and Germany in the European Union have very different figures. One is the double than the other. So this depends on the country. But here you can see the figures. And what do we do with this waste, with this municipal waste? So, in general, you know what this is? This is a landfill. And that can be controlled or non-controlled landfills, but we know that 70% of the waste generated in the planet go to the landfill. And it's obnoxious. And in Catalonia, we have 30% of the waste goes to the landfill. And in Europe, there is a directive. There is a regulation that obliges all member states. In 2035, the maximum percentage going to the landfill will have to be 10% of the total waste generated. And why? Because obviously, you might know the management pyramid, the 3 R's, reuse, recycle, and then the last one is the landfill. Because it generates all these different problems, pollution of the soils, and then we pollute the phreatic waters, and we produce methane, the greenhouse effect, one of the main causes of the greenhouse effect, 6% in Spain. This organic waste that we saw when it goes to the landfill, it generates methane, and then here we can see a forest in the end, so there is a wildfire risk. We can generate bad odors and other problems, and visual impact, visual pollution. Also, we destroy natural habitats. There used to be a valley, but now there is a landfill, so the diversity disappears. And also these waste that we are tossing away are resources. If we manage them in a different way, we could make something out of them. And we are neglecting them, and these can have risks to human health. So this is the reality, the global reality of what's going on all over the world, and it's not good. But it shouldn't be this way, the way we manage waste. So if we have a look at nature, nature is wise, and nature tells us that the concept waste does not exist. We can see trees and fruits and an animal that is going to eat the fruit, a plant eater, and then a meat eater. A fox will eat the squirrel, and then this is the life cycle. You were born, you grow, and then you die, and then you poo all over the animals poo all over the place. It goes in nature, and nature integrates these things, and the scraps and the leftovers. If I walking through the woods and there is a lightning and the tree is coming down, and after 2, 3, 5 years, the tree will not be there anymore. It is not because it disappeared. It has integrated to the soil. It went back to the soil. And maybe what we need to do is to copy nature and learn from nature. How? So these organic waste through the composting processes. So composting is a process that allow you to transform this organic waste into compost, which is a organic product with fantastic features, with nutrients, with organic matter that can be returned to the soil. And that's the way nature does it, but with another pace, right? We eat the apple, we peel the apple, and then the peel will be separated and collected, and it will be composted And this compost will be returned to the soil, the orchard, or the crops, or the gardens. And we will do the same as nature does. And this is the way. So if we take all these different stages, there are some tasks that we need to do, because the compost can be done at home with a small composting unit, or I can do it in a big factory. And these are the microorganisms doing the work, bacteria and fungi doing this work. As long as they have food, these organic waste, as long as they have oxygen and water, they can work, and you don't have to pay them for working. But we will have to do a few things. We have to, first of all, explain to people why it is important to separate the organic waste, and then we will have to collect them, we will have to transport them, we will have to check their quality, and then we have to do some intervention so that this works. There are some operators doing this job, and also people who are in charge of this, controlling it. We have to control the product, we have to control all the stages, and then we can apply the compost. So this is SIRCLES, our project. And let me tell you that in this management hierarchy pyramid, the worst options, the ones at the bottom, are the ones that generate less jobs. The best options, though, the reuse, the repairing, the recycling, are the ones that generate more jobs. And this is our project, SIRCLES, a European project in which there are 10 partners and 17 associates from 7 countries, focused on training girls and boys, and risking exclusion, creating jobs for them, using the circular economy, and focusing on the management of bio-waste. We can talk about textiles, we can talk about different devices like Repair Cafe, but one of them, important enough, is the bio-waste. So now we are going to do like a virtual journey through the Mediterranean to explain to you which are these experiences. Here you can see Tunis, and we will go counterclockwise. So this composting plant in Tunis with all sorts of waste, not only bio-waste, but also manure and straw, very manually. And we've been able to train 132 people and create 81 jobs. So they generate a lot of jobs, and they are really happy because they've been able to do all the job, and they have been able to implement these orchards, and it's been amazing. And it doesn't require a lot of technology. They have some devices, obviously, because they need some help, because it's 350 tons per year, and it is difficult to do it manually.
D'aquí passem a...
And from here we move to Jordan. Many countries had never heard about bio-waste. Maybe this is like the first experience in their countries in compost production. Look, the situation in Jordan. Food waste. A lot of food waste in Jordan also. We should avoid wasting food. This is a global responsibility of humankind. Of course, we can waste food parts, but not like a baguette. So again, vegetable fraction, trituration, the use of composters, and look at this phase of satisfaction when obtaining the first compost after 3 or 4 months of long process. So this is the reality we are confronted with in Jordan, in the plant near Aqaba. Let's now move to Palestine. This plant was developed in a scope project, and unfortunately we couldn't set it up. The plant is built, but unfortunately it hasn't entered into action. We have started a selective waste collection process. They are producing top quality compost, and now it's being used in their houses, in their greenhouses. We had planned to travel to Palestine next week. Unfortunately, it will not be possible. I hope that soon a peaceful solution is reached for Israel and Palestine. But again, we have been able to prove that Palestine is capable of working well. And from Palestine, let's travel all the way down to Lebanon. We were at Lebanon in a very complex scenario, socially speaking, with all sorts of problems with energy supply and water supply problems, because water cannot be pumped and it's producing disease. So again, they have been able to set up this quite technified plant where we collect organic waste in Lebanon, and in the last picture it wasn't taken in the plant. As you know, Beirut had or experienced a massive blow in the harbor with chemical components thrown to the air. Also, there was a landfill that collapsed and was dumped into the sea and went down into the sea. So finally they are managing their waste under a highway bridge, the only available place. Of course, they are working their way around, and for them this experience has been extremely positive. So now from Lebanon to Greece, even if it's an EU member, they are not doing that well in terms of biowaste. This is the first experience in Andros, in the island of Andros, and even if we had some problems in these facilities, we were capable of setting up these facilities, and now the island is thrilled and they want to replicate it in other parts of the island. Now, to conclude, Italy, this is not a new plant. 75,000 tons plant. And the aim of this project is to raise awareness about how to promote a clean, high-quality waste management system. And to conclude, the Catalan experience that was implemented in Vilaseca in partnership with Fundació Antrabal. So this plant is an interesting one. It has been able to treat part of the waste produced by Portaventura, the resort, and some hotels. We have hired 12 professionals in the plant. I know this was a fast virtual journey, but again, this is the outcome, you know. We went from waste, bad smell waste, transformed into a bag of compost that can be used to enhance our soils and thus ensure food sovereignty, transforming an organic waste into a compost, which is a treasure matter. And again, on behalf of all the partners, thanks for listening to this very